Good afternoon. My name is Carl Smith, and thank you for coming today. First of all, we want to offer our heartfelt condolences to the family of the victims. This is a tragic event for all involved, including our community. This morning at approximately 5 a.m., Midlothian officers and EMS were dispatched to an unresponsive person to the Creekside Church in the 5400 block of East Highway 287. Midlothian officers arrived at the location just after fire and department medics arrived on the scene, and the medics were attending an unresponsive female as officers entered the church. The officers observed a lot of broken glass on the floor, and the female, as well as the female. They started the search of the building to make sure there were no other individuals in the facility. During the search, the officers found evidence of forced entry into the building, indicating a possible burglary. The entire building was searched and nobody was found. After that, the victim was pronounced deceased by Ellis County Justice of the Peace Bill Woody, and officers at the scene located evidence, again, forced entry. The victim was identified as Terry Beaver, 45 years of age, from Midlothian, Texas. The victim was transported to Dallas County Medical Examiner's Office. During the course of the investigation, detectives located and collected a video evidence. The video depicts an unknown male walking inside the church building dressed in police-type clothing and wearing a helmet and gloves. We are releasing the video. I believe Commander Spann is going to let you guys know how to get that off of our YouTube channel. We are asking and soliciting any information regarding this offense or identity of any unknown male on the video. Asked to call Midlothian Police Department at 972-775-3333. The investigation is ongoing and further updates will be provided as additional information becomes available. This is an unusual occurrence for our community, and our first priority is the safety and well-being of our citizens. The Midlothian Police Department is dedicated to delivering police services in partnership with our community to keep Midlothian the safest place to live, work, and visit. At that time, and I'll answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Do you know what time the suspect walked into the church based on the surveillance footage?
I do not know that information at this time. Commander Spann may have more specific information that I'll pass on to him in just a second.
But he walked in before she arrived, and is that how?
My understanding is that he was inside the facility prior to our victim entering the building, according to the video.
So are you saying maybe she interrupted a burglary in progress?
It certainly is possible. The individual was there, and we have evidence of broken glass and damage to the facility prior to her arrival.
Chief, who could found her?
Yeah.
Who found her?
She is an instructor for a fitness club here in Ellis County, and she was preparing for a class, and was actually having a class inside the facility today because of the rain, and so her students actually were in the building and found her and notified law enforcement, EMS, of her condition.
Chief, could you go into more detail about what this suspect was wearing when you described it as police-like clothing?
Yes. The suspect is actually wearing what we would describe as what you see on many times in a TV situation, in a full tactical type gear, a heavy vest, a heavy helmet, gloves, BDU type pants with police on the front and I believe on the back. So it, from all intent purposes, he is designed to look like a police officer. His intent was to look like a police officer.
Chief, could it be possible that she was targeted? She had posted on her Facebook that she was going to be there. Is there a possibility that this is not random?
We're exploring all possibilities. It certainly is a strange occurrence at this time of morning for a church to be burglarized early in the morning, and also that it certainly looks like an opportunity for it's just an odd random situation that they would actually happen to come into a building that was being burglarized on a Monday morning. But all scenarios are on the table right now. We're just now really getting into the meat of this investigation, so we'll be looking at every avenue of investigation following that through to the end that we can get.
Was there evidence of burglary? Was there evidence of things stolen from the church?
We don't have any idea or any evidence that things were actually taken from the facility, but a lot of damage within the facility.
Chief, did you say the victim was shot?
I did not say that. No, sir.
Do we know how the victim was killed?
We're not releasing any information on her injuries right now.
So is there any, in the video, is he doing anything prior to?
In the video, you can see him walking through the hallways, and it's really the only thing that we see him doing is walking through various hallways. I believe the cameras are or motion activated, so as he's moving through, you see them click on, but we can't really tell that he's doing anything particular in any one of the videos, to my knowledge.
We'll let Chief Smith just answer one more question and then let him get back to what he needs to do, and then I'll try to fill in a couple more questions after that to fill in any gaps and talk to you about how we'll release the additional information.
Is there information in
Chief,
the
had you
car?
had any other people like this, or any other MOs or other robberies or burglaries with this
No,
person fitting the same?
No, this is an extremely unusual situation for City of Midlothian. We have a very, very safe community. In fact, this is going to be the first event of my tenure here in almost 10 years. So nothing like this has happened before.
See, first event,
First type of, well, actually our first homicide in my tenure in 9 years. So, all right, thank you all.
Again, my name's John Spann, Captain with command over our Criminal Investigation Division. And like I said, I can take a couple more questions, but a lot of this stuff we'll put out in an expanded press release that'll be on our Police Department Facebook page, along with the link that'll allow you to go to YouTube and see the video footage of the suspect in the building.
Did the suspect appear to be armed?
Could not tell from the video if he was armed. He did have some type of object that he was using to pry on doors. The video shows the suspect, as Chief said, walking through the building. We don't have anything identified yet that's been stolen, but there were several doors within the church that were breached by the suspect. But at this time, we don't have anything. The church personnel there have not noticed anything specifically missing. But we do know he went into several rooms.
Sorry, I don't know if the chief finished his statement, but who found her and how?
Like he said, she's part of a Camp Gladiator boot camp that meets there. The camp normally starts at 5 a.m. She arrived approximately a little after 4 a.m. and was in the process. Her vehicle was parked by the entry door, unloading her equipment. She was actually found by one of the boot camp participants who got there a little bit early, waited outside for a while, and then once some of the other people arrived, they entered the building to go start their boot camp, and is when they located her. And at that time, just assumed that she was unresponsive until they saw her injuries and called. So our initial response was to an unresponsive female at the church. Like the chief said, once the officers got there, their preliminary search, they did determine that there was forced entry into the building, broken glass throughout the building, and from that determined that it was possibly a burglary that she may have walked in and interrupted.
How long had the person been there? Any idea before this crime happened?
Like Chief said, we have some video surveillance. The video in the church works on motion section. So we can't say for sure when he got into the building, but the first time he appears on the camera is about 10 minutes before 4 a.m. But that's not to say that he wasn't in the building prior to that, because he may not have been anywhere where they captured video.
Any concern? This guy's dressed up in tactical gear. Any concern?
Well, yeah, of course, that concerns. Like I said, when we first saw the video, like Chief said, this is a subject that you would normally see doing some type of raid, wearing looks like a heavy vest with police on the back. I believe police on the front. Again, I haven't had a chance to look at the video that we're going to upload, but again, the still pictures that I saw, to look at it, I would say it was a tactical officer in the building, had the tactical style helmet, gloves, even looked like he possibly had shin guards on it, and like Chief said, a BDU style pant.
Is there a video that's showing how he got to the church? Was he in a car?
There were no cameras outside of the church, but again, part of our investigation, there's nothing close to the church, but even businesses that were within eyesight of the church, we've gone and collected video. We've got video from a couple of the businesses around there, and we'll continue to reach out to the community to capture or try to collect any type of video that could assist in this. But there's no outside video on the church. They do have a camera, but it was not functioning at the time.
Can you say anything about the trauma on the victim's body that the victim suffered in this case?
Like I said, we're not going to go into details right now. The Justice of the Peace in Ellis County is who pronounces somebody deceased. Bill Woody responded to the scene, pronounced her deceased, and then her body was taken to the Dallas Medical Examiner's office, who they will determine what type or possible type of weapons and the injuries that are on her.
And Captain, any concern that this victim posted on social media where she would be, or do you think this was random? Did that have anything to do with it, is the question?
I don't know that anything related to where she would be. We did see that where she announced. Again, she's a boot camp instructor and I believe teaches other class beside this one because there was a second location that she was going to be at. But again, a lot of times with social media, people are putting that information out there. Again, we're at the very onset of this investigation and we're looking at all the social media. There's several people that have called us that we will follow back up with to see what information they have. We've reached out to area agencies. We got assistance from the Ellis County Sheriff's Department that has a property evidence collection team that came out to assist us in collecting the evidence. And we've reached out to, again, some local agencies, some investigators that would come in and give us assistance to make sure we're taking every effort to track down any possible leads on this. Again, like Chief said, this is unusual for the city of Midlothian. This isn't something we deal with on a daily basis. So it's something that we're going to make sure that it's done and it's done right.
Just in case the burglary scenario, have you guys had many calls there for burglaries at all or ever?
No, we did look at that. I don't show any type of alarm calls or anything of that nature at that location, at least in the last 8 to 12 months. I didn't pull up anything. But again, that's part of the investigation that we'll look and see any kind of incidents that may have happened out there.
Is there an alarm on the church?
Not that we're aware of. In our city, we have an alarm permit ordinance, and I don't show a permit for that church, which leads me to believe they don't have an alarm. And in any case, there was no alarm or anything that indicated when this gentleman broke into the church and notified us. Again, it was some of the boot camp members that discovered the victim.
Is Miss Beavers in the video as well?
The video that we're going to release to you is of the suspect. There's no video of the assault that took place. There is video of Mrs. Beavers when she first enters the church, but I don't believe that's part of the video that's being released right now.
Okay.
In respect to the family.
But do you know if it was sort of, if it happened very quickly, if she arrived and...
It was pretty quick after she got there. Again, the timeline from the boot camp members that were arriving there. Again, we know the time that she entered the church, which I believe is going to be around 4:18, again, approximate time. We see her in the video. She's walking down the main hallway in the vicinity of where we located her. But once she gets out of the range of the camera, it doesn't pick up the motion and the camera turns off. So we don't have anything, like I said, we have no video of the assault actually taking place.
But this is being labeled a murder case.
Yes, until we know otherwise.
Did the suspect stay around after the assault happened?
I believe he left shortly after that. Again, going back, piecing together the videos because you're getting different angles depending on what cameras. But I don't believe he left pretty much right after that occurred. I don't believe he went into we don't have any indication that he went anywhere else to any other rooms within the building after the assault took place.
Was anything taken?
At this time, the church members or our department, we have not identified anything to be missing.
So,
And is he seen fleeing? Is he seen after the assault?
Again, we see him walking down one of the hallways, but presumably he went out the way he came in, which was through a metal door that had a glass window that was broken out. And again, this is all speculation on our part, that broke the window and reached inside to open the door. But we also have a second and third windows that were broken, but we don't have any evidence that anybody ever went through them. They were just broken.
It's got to be concerning that not only do we have a killer on the loose, we have a killer who is impersonating a police officer on the loose. So the people here in Midlothian, what can you tell them that when they encounter someone who's dressed as a police officer, that they know that they are actually dealing with a sworn police officer instead of an impersonator who's out to harm them?
On our day-to-day business as police officers, we don't dress out in that tactical gear like that. So again, I don't know. From the description we have, we will reach out to other agencies and check to see if they've had any type of similar offenses, even involving anybody that may have been dressed as an officer. Any kind of lead we can get will be followed up on. But again, we feel like that this is an isolated incident. Like I said, that's what makes this so unusual, is having somebody go into that length to dress up like that. Like I said, it's nothing we have experienced, and I'm not aware of anything like that going on in the Metroplex that we're aware of. But again, this happened at 5 this morning. We just cleared the scene about 12 p.m. We're still in the process of following down leads and looking at everything that we've got.